Hello, this is the Gaming Glader back at it again with another commentary on this fight here. And in this fight, I'll be piloting Ulti Garga against my opponent, who's just piloting an evil demonic dragons. And I won the duel, so I got to go first. And right after that, I called a Diogordra to search out a Gargantua Slash Wyvern and call another Diogordra, discarding the Gargantua Slash Wyvern and searching another Gargantua Slash Wyvern. That's because I don't have any more Ulti Gargas in my deck apparently. And here I had to use the Graga Shine to salvage the Ulti Garga back to my hand. Thank God he did not have the spell Nullifier, because if he had, I wouldn't be able to play Buddyfight actually in this game. And then I'm going to proceed by calling the Ulti Garga, healing 1, and then eating up the 2 gauge that my opponent has. Eating up gauge is very important here because it doesn't enable your opponent to cast loyalty, I guess, and everything else that uses gauge. Then I'm going to equip the G-Boost Will item, and then cast a Gargamon, charging 1, and then reviving a Garcat to further increase my resources to get the impact, I guess, to do the FTK and basically gain defensive cards, I guess. I'm going to copy G-Boost Will with Garga's ability. That enables me to cast a Gar-E Burst, charging to drawing, trying to find that impact, trying to ball out this FTK, and then calling a Gardog there to basically get the Gargat to drop zone, and go straight to battle phase. G-Boost Will triggers, attack the opponent for 3, dealing 3, and then dealing 1 damage via G-Boost Will. Then I'm going to use the item to call Garcat and go straight to final phase and cast the impact, because the condition is fulfilled. I can deal 6 damage, and that's the FTK. So let's just go straight to game 2. Alright, game 2. On game 2, the loser actually gets to choose whether he will go first or second. Of course, my opponent is going to be going first because he just saw himself get FTK'd in the previous game, so it's just natural that he's going to go first here, so it's to prevent the possibility of being FTK'd. My opponent here is going to start with a Time Sale here. Time Sale is actually a very good card for Evil Demonic Dragons because it reduces life there and actually gives you cards. And losing life in Evil Demonic Dragons is actually very important because most of their cards actually activate if their life is 6 or less. And as you can see now, his life is at 6 now because the 2 spells of it that he cast. And now he can just basically every card in his deck now goes off except I guess Belial, because Belial requires his life to be 1. And let's see what he does here next. He's going to call an Envy. Envy here actually is a very menacing card for Evil Demonic Dragons because it can counter nullify abilities. If you play Yu-Gi-Oh, you're gonna know Effect Veiler, and it does just that. It nullifies abilities, and it even gives the Evil Demonic Dragon an extra card because it draws him cards, and it also rests cards. It's just the Envy is actually a very fearsome card in here, and it actually kind of messes my plays just a little bit. You're gonna see later. My opponent there is just trying to get more resources out on the board so he can, I guess, control my board more, because Evil Demonic Dragons actually do a lot of controlling, like with Envy, with the Gluttony there that he just called. Gluttony can actually reduce my resources because by destroying my cards, and he's gonna drop my gauge and drop my hand. It's gonna be a problem. And because of Envy and Gluttony there, I'm forced to try different measures, because if I just put down a Searcher, it can be nullified by Envy, and I'm not gonna do that. You're gonna see what I had to do in here, and I'm going to call Gargantua Night Dragon. I had to do it. I had no choice, because if I had done anything else, it's gonna be bad. And I had to equip the item to prevent any further nullification or destruction by Envy or Gluttony. And well, it did actually destroy my Garga Night once when I equipped the item, but nevertheless, the item is gonna save me in every other case. And I'm in desperate need of gauge here, and I cast G-Boost over. I could take 2 to my hand, but no, I only took 1 because I really need the gauge, and I now can safely call a Searcher out. That is Gardog, and I'm gonna charge 1 and search out the Ultimate Garga. Now I have enough gauge finally to call Ultimate Garga, and I'm going to do just that. I'm going to Buddy Call him and Thank God I had a G-Boost Craft in the gauge. That means when I activate Garga's ability, I can actually choose G-Boost Craft and G-Boost Base. And I think I'm going to do just that. Yes, I'm going to use G-Boost Craft and G-Boost Base. My whole field is going to get buffed up and going to get triple attack. But Envy there just controls my board just like that. He's going to rest my Garga and draw one, just pulsing casually like that. Then my opponent is going to cast Negative Survive. Negative Survive here is actually a very good card because it actually saves you for the whole turn. It's basically the best last ditch card I've ever seen, because it actually saves you for the whole turn. Well, maybe except if you cast Tempest Buster, but nevertheless it saves you for a whole turn, just like what my opponent does here, and his life is now at 1. When Evil Demonic Dragons has 1 life, it's very fearsome, because his Belial is gonna have 666 crits. His cards like this one is going to have no cost basically, because anything below 2 life I believe has no cost. And then he's going to call size 0 that can search out the item or Belial, but in this case he's just going to search out the item. The item here actually is actually a very amazing item, because it not only does it assault guard, but when it attacks, it actually drops your opponent's gauge, and it actually has 10,000 power I believe, and it has double attack. It reduces your opponent's resources, and not to mention that actually prevents effect damage. My opponent there just casted the Time Skill. Time Skill, like I said, is a very good card in Evil Demonic Dragons. It's very synergetic with it. You saw, he just cast Time Sale for free there, just because he has 1 life. And then it's going to continue by calling Brutus to further increase his resources there to charge 2 and draw 2. And then it's going to call a Gluttony, and then putting Brutus to its soul. Gluttony is going to get buffed up because his life is at 1. Battle Phase, of course, I'm going to move to the center to protect me. But my opponent has the spell that revives an Evil Demonic Dragon here, and he's going to call Belial, that it now has 666 crits. Oh my god. And he's going to attack the center, but before that I'm going to pay 2 life and try to rest the Gluttony and the Belial, but my opponent has a spell nullifier. So with that I have nothing more in my hand, and I can only miss target once, and I got hit with 666 crits, and well, that's that, and let's just move on to game 3. Alright, game 3, the game that decides who wins. Of course, I lost in the last game, so I get to choose if I go first or second. Of course, I'm gonna go first, because I want to FTK my opponent here. And I'm going to start by calling Dio Garga, discarding 1, charging 1, and then searching out Gargantua Slash Wyvern, adding it to hand, and then calling another Dio Garga, discarding the new Gargantua Slash Wyvern there, and then searching out Ulti Garga to my hand. Dio Garga here is actually a very important piece in Ultimate Garga, because as you can see here, I'm going to Buddy Call Garga, gain 1 life, and when I gain life I can eat up the 2 gauge my opponent has. Eating up gauge that your opponent has just locks them out of them using loyalty, them using actually anything that has any gauge cost, so it's very good. I activated Garga's ability, and by activating that I was able to cast Gar Grants in the main phase. There's a very important tip there. Spells like Gar Grants and Gar Burst are very good cards that actually plus you a real lot. And then I'm going to proceed by equipping the G-Boost EX item. It's actually kind of debatable which is better, that or the G-Boost Will one, because the G-Boost will call from Grab Zone. This one actually calls from the top 5 cards of my deck, so I'm not sure of what to call. And as you can see here, I was trying to search out actually a Gar Squirrel. If I got a Gar Squirrel, I can equip a G-Boost Will item, and I'm gonna have 6 creates on my board like the game 1 did, and I'm going to be able to FTK my opponent. But nevertheless, I didn't get it. I only got a Charm Gargoyle there. I got set up my drop zone and charge 1, heal 1, and draw 1. Try to get just enough resources to just survive during the next turn. And I'm going to pass the turn without FTKing, because I believe I didn't have the impact in my hand. But nevertheless, let's just see what the Evil Demonic Dragon player can do. He's going to start off by paying 2 life to charge 2 and draw 2. It's a very powerful spell, that fell spell there. When life is below 2, I guess it's gonna be no cost, I believe. A very good card for Demonic Dragons there. You're gonna call General Brick. General Brick here is actually a very good staple in Darkness Dragon World because it basically has no restrictions, and it's basically just put it down, check top 3, add 1 to your hand, and the rest is history. It's very good. You can actually have a little card selection there. My opponent here is going to cast that spell Evil Demonic Dragon has. This spell is really good for the Evil Demonic Dragons because it uses a lot of gauge, and the way it works is that you discard 1, check top 5, add I think any amount of monsters to your hand, Evil Demonic Dragon, and rest of the gauge. You can actually gauge 5 just using that. Very good cards are there. And my opponent just called Envy. Okay, cool. Envy is here. Party's over, I guess, because Envy is just a party winner. But I have a little surprise for my opponent there. When he called the third monster, I responded with loyalty, so we can't call any more monsters and try to save my life there for just 1 turn. Battle phase, of course, I'm going to move to the center to protect my life there. Envy is just going to attack the Traum Gordra and then double attack. My opponent there kind of contemplated if he should attack Ulti Garga or not, because Ulti Garga actually has counter attacks, and if he just attacks Ulti Garga like that, it's gonna actually not merit him anything. It's just gonna pass the turn to me, I guess. But before that, I'm going to use the Ulti Garga item and then call a Garcat to try to gain more answers, more resources, and everything. And now it's my turn to attack. And let's see what I'll do here first. And I'm going to use Ulti Garga's ability just straight right off the bat. I already have 3G boost in my drop zone, so I'm just going to activate that. That will enable, and I'm going to cast a Dry God Shine, and then salvaging Dio Gordra and Strom Gordra. I salvaged Dio Gordra because I thought if I can reduce his gauge, then I can be safe here. And like what I'm doing right now, calling Dio Gordra and then casting Gar Oracle, healing 2 and drawing 2, trying to get rid of the 2 gauge, but my opponent has a response in which he casts Negative Survive. Negative Survive again is the best last ditch card and basically the history of last ditch cards, and he is safe for the turn, I guess. I'm going to try to gain something from this turn and try to cast Dragonic Exchange, adding 1 to my hand. It's an interesting card. You're gonna see what card I just got, and I got Perfected Dragon. I'm gonna pay 1 life and add a Gar E Dasher to my hand, which can actually nullify abilities that my opponent has. It's a very powerful card there, and now that my opponent knows it, he's gonna take a few precautions probably, but it's nevertheless it's a very good card. If you're playing Ulti Garga, I suggest highly that you get Gar E Dasher in your deck, or in the bare minimum your sideboard. I'm gonna go straight to battle phase here, draw 1, and just go straight to attack. I guess I'm going to attack Envy. That dang Envy. I'm going to gain 1 because of the G-Boost Will, and the Dio Gordra is going to trigger and going to eat up his gauge. He now no longer has any gauge, but before I heat up his gauge, he's gonna activate Envy and going to rest my item there and drawing 1 in the process. Really, Envy is just, I guess, kind of a mistake. I guess it's a very good card. And here I'm just trying to get resources right and left, trying to gain life, even though he's gonna hit me with probably 666 crits, and life is not gonna matter at that point. But I'm just gonna try. Here I got a Gar Squirrel, but I didn't equip the item that I had in my hand. Actually, that's a little bit of a misplay, because if I had the G-Boost Will item equipped, I can guarantee a miss target during the next turn, but for some reason I didn't do it. Maybe I forgot I had the item in my hand or something, but nevertheless, what happened, and that's that. And I casted now Gar E-Burst, trying to gain more resources, trying to gain more answers to my opponent's plays. Now my opponent is going to start off his turn, of course, by charging and drawing, and he's going to cast the spell again. A very good spell here. He's going to attack top 5. I believe he's going to add 2 cards to his hand, in which those 2 cards are very good as well. That is Envy and the Belial Searcher, and then the rest goes to the gauge. Now he has 3 gauge. He has enough gauge to call Belial now and equip item like this. And now he's going to call the Belial Searcher, discarding one card and searching out Belial, I believe. This shit is scary, man. Oh my god. Next, I guess he's going to call the Belial right to the center. A very menacing card there, not gonna lie. And then next is gonna call Brutus. Actually, in here I have two timings here. I kind of misplayed. I had a timing when he called Brutus, like there. But I only used one time because he had two timings when he called Brutus and activated his ability. I could have rested the Brutus and the Belial, but I didn't do it. But now it's an open timing. But nevertheless, I paid 2 life to try to rest it, and he has a response here. He has a response where he called the anti-rest and the anti-nullification, so he's safe from Gar-E Gar-E Dasher. But although I cannot rest it, those cards that I chose, the Belial and the Brutus, can only attack once. He attacked the center. I have the item equipped. I have to hope to get a monster here, and I got it. The attack Mr. Argus, I don't get hit with penetrate, and I'm safe for the turn if he doesn't have the new Belial in his hand, and he's just going to attack right and left, and it appears that he does not have the new Belial in hand, so I'm safe. So it's my turn now. Draw, charge, and draw. I'm rushed with Adrenaline Red at this point because he already used Negative Survive, and we all know that Negative Survive is once per game. So I'm basically safe at this point. I can kill him at this point, and I'm going to just cast Rocket Shine, get back the Geogordra to again try to control his gauge, so he cannot do any more funny stuff to me. Then I'm going to go straight to battle phase, of course activating the G-Boost EX, then attacking the center, penetrating and dealing damage and everything, and I won. That's that. Thank you for watching.